I'm Tom Wujek, co-host of Buffalo After Dark. Founded by Matthew Keeler, Dishin is a Buffalo-based fashion label focusing on continuous experimentation in hockey. Their work consists of products, content, and experiences that inspire creativity. Playful curation provides energy that sparks a unique perspective and an ideology around seeing the game differently. Now you can save. Log on to justdishin.com and use promo code WUJEK at checkout. You'll save 10% on all of your purchases. That is spelled W-U-J-E-K. Dishin has built an influential following devoted to the infusion of creative expression through high-quality goods and tasteful collaboration. If you love creative products that push the boundaries, check out Dishin. Visit their website at justdishin.com. This is Buffalo's Uncensored Sports Show. You're watching Buffalo After Dark. Welcome to Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It is Wednesday night, April 17th. Sorry we started a few minutes late, but we got most of the group here tonight. So, of course, got Luffy in the house. How you doing? And you got any good weed for us tonight?
I actually even had the chance to even eat yet, so I'm kind of holding off on the weed right now. Long days, man. 15-hour work days. Like, not fun.
You didn't have any bodily fluids in your body this whole time?
I obviously ate today, Bobby. I'm just saying, since I got home, I haven't had a chance to even shit, let alone to eat food yet. So yeah, that's how important this is to me. That I took time out of my fucking day after working 15 hours to deal with you, especially you.
Yeah, we both had to deal with you last night, Mr. Tiny Hands. How you doing?
Generally I'm doing okay. Medically I'm okay as well. For those of you who want to know real quick, I was diagnosed with bicep what the fuck is it? Tendonitis. That's what it was. Bicep tendonitis. I was diagnosed with it yesterday and I'm going through physical therapy as of right now, and they said I should be done with less than maybe not even 5 days. So I'm hoping for the best. And on a personal note, today is actually my wife Brittany's 29th birthday. So Britt, if you're listening, I love you. Happy birthday and hope for a good day.
Happy birthday, Brett.
Happy
And by the
birthday.
way, Bobby, you should have tried those fucking tablets I told you about. The triactin, triactin like a fucking man, getting physical therapy for 5 fucking days. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Listen, I didn't get surgery on my arm. I'm like Annie, he got surgery on his dick. So let's put it that way.
Hey, I had neck surgery, so whatever.
That's
I'm just
comparable
saying,
though.
I've had fucking flesh wounds that are worse than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got hit by a car, so let's put it that way.
You ever get shot with an M249 before?
Why the hell would I know that? I've never been shot in my life.
I'm just saying, if you ever got shot one of those, it's called the saw for a reason.
Yeah, you don't want to get nailed by that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty fucking lethal. It'll kill you. But luckily for Adam, he's here now with us, and we're able to give him one big kumbaya.
Can't put me down. Can't put me down. They tried.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. But no, it's all good. And we got a lot of news to talk about. Obviously, if you want to join us, 929-205-6099, it'll get you on the air. And basically from here, the first big thing, let's start with the Yotes, because the Yotes are officially no more.
Well, as soon as midnight strikes on the East Coast, which is where we are now, the clock will officially strike 12 and the Arizona Coyotes will be no more, and they will be relocating to Salt Lake City, Utah as of tomorrow. And the Board of Governors will be expectedly to unanimously vote on it, and they will indeed be moving to Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think about that? That's what I fucking think about that.
There's a good answer.
That's what all I got to say about it, because you know what? You fucking you keep trying, Bettman, keep trying.
Yeah, exactly.
Fail another team, and then fucking maybe bring them to Atlanta for the third time, and that that might work. You know what, Gary Bettman, go fuck yourself. You're a piece of shit.
Well, about that, Adam, I hate to break it to you, but I don't know if you've heard this or not, and I'm sure Tom has. is supposedly Alex Marullo still has the rights to the Arizona Coyotes name, and there's a very strong chance, and Bettman has already told him, he said that if he wins the land auction on June 27th in Northern Phoenix, he has a 5-year window to bring back the Coyotes as an expansion team. In other words, do what the NFL did to the Browns 30 years ago when they relocated from Cleveland to Baltimore and then come back 30 years later as an expansion team.
Okay, first off, why? Second of all, why the same owner? And third of all, why are they stuck on stupid?
Because Gary Bettman's a stubborn old fuck, as we all know, and he is relentless about that market, and he wants it to work really, really badly. Listen, I'm not against them, playing in the desert. I'm just gonna make a quick disclaimer. I'm not against the idea of having them play in the desert to begin with, because I think it can grow, but it has to be done correctly. You have to convince people in a market that want to get into hockey, like, why do you have to give them a reason why you should go to the games and why you should go as just a casual if you've never been to a game in your life. And people are only feeling bad now because they're moving. Otherwise, nobody gave two fucks about them a few years ago.
Yeah, it's like saying to a killer whale, it'd be a lot better if you moved into this desert. It would work a lot better. But, leave the ocean though, because where all the good shit happens. But you should probably just, you know, hockey in the desert, it just it just doesn't to me it doesn't make fucking sense. If it didn't work, why as an owner be that fucking stupid to be like, you know what, in 5 years I'm gonna bring back an expansion team that's doomed to fail once again.
Oh no, and it gets
Right.
worse. He also has total control, by the way, two total words, total control of the Tucson Roadrunners, which was the Coyotes AHL team. And guess where they're relocating to next year? Take a wild fucking guess where they're going next year.
Arizona.
Well, yeah, they're in Arizona, but do you know where in specific?
I don't really give a fuck enough to not care, but yeah, sure, tell me, Bobby.
Mullet Arena in Tempe.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Well, you know what? NHL's become the joke. It's great.
Well, congratulations. You have just relocated a franchise that fits no further than 5,000 seats, and you're moving them to Salt Lake City, which is probably for the best. And then having your AHL farm team be affiliated for them for the time being. And of course, you move them into the same goddamn situation as you had the Coyotes prior. So it almost defeats the purpose of them relocating to begin with if they, God forbid, won the land auction in June. So
That makes more sense for an AHL team, though. Originally, I would have put an AHL team in that arena because no one gives a fuck. For one, no one gives a fuck but the Tucson Roadrunners, and no one gives a fuck about the Arizona Coyotes. So why the fuck are we even talking about this?
because I know you're still bitter about the whole Canadian market narrative.
No, dude, I'm just sick of fucking hearing about it. Like it is what it is, dude. I'm not the owner. I'm not the owner of fucking. I'm not the board of governors. I'm not fucking anything. So
Me
Right.
neither.
I can speak Tom Red in the fucking face. It's not gonna fucking matter.
Adam, you know how lucky I am that the Islanders didn't even leave Long Island? If they didn't win the land in Elmont a few years ago, they would have been gone. I would have been upset, leaving a legacy team that won 4 cups in the 80s and then leaving a legendary, franchise behind them and then just start all over again in Kansas City. Like, what good did that do? You know what I mean? Like, I would have been crushed. I mean, having to play at Nassau and the Nassau Coliseum for a handful of years, going to Brooklyn, getting kicked out, and then luckily going back to the Coliseum, and then winning the land auction in Elmont, and then building this brand new state-of-the-art arena, which is going to be there for probably another half century. So right there, I'm forever grateful that the Islanders, didn't leave. But at the same time, I'm, grateful about it, but I would never take them for granted. So I think for the Coyotes, it's a completely different situation because they've been toxic since the moment they moved from Winnipeg.
Okay, so can I can I say this?
Yeah.
From now on, when you guys make topics for episodes, can you guys just bring them out as to be in a category of how dumb they are and whether they're worth wasting time talking about? Because that to me is like the stupidest fucking topic you could have even brought up.
What? Comparing the Islanders to the Coyotes?
No, just talking about the Coyotes in general. Because nobody, I can guarantee you, anybody that's listening to this right now gives zero fucks about the Arizona Coyotes. And the reason we're talking about it, I don't fucking know, and I don't give a fuck why. But at the same time, I don't. If I was a listener, I would not want to listen about, oh God, oh the Arizona Coyotes are moving. Okay, everyone's over that.
Okay,
Way
so let
over
me
it.
ask you a question,
Just
hypothetically.
let it
Let me ask you
fucking
a
go and
question.
talk about something that's like, interesting.
Well, let me ask you this: what if hypothetically the Toronto Maple Leafs say we're filing for bankruptcy, we have no place to go in Toronto,
That's
and
not
there's no
even
other part of the
realistic.
city,
That's
and they
not
have to
even
relocate? Then what would you
realistic,
do?
dude. It's not even realistic, dude. What are you
But
talking about?
that again, that's hypothetical. What if
Apples
they
and
had to
oranges, dude.
relocate?
Apples and oranges.
You're not getting it.
Yeah,
But
I'm getting it. We're talking about Arizona. You're comparing them to the Leafs. That
you
makes
wouldn't
zero.
be upset if the Leafs ever left Toronto.
It's never gonna fucking happen, dude.
I know that, but I'm asking. Never mind. I'm asking a hypothetical question, Fitz.
You're wasting time is all you're doing right now. You're wasting time.
I know because the NHL already wasted yours with moving the city from Quebec and then pissing you off about it. I know. Trust me.
Can we move on? Because this guy never shuts the fuck up. So can we
Yeah.
just move on?
Yeah. And speaking about it, Andy's here with us as well. How's it going, man?
Is Andy dead?
No, he's on mute,
Of course he
I
is.
think.
What else is new?
Anywho,
Yeah, but no, it's all good. It's all good. I know Andy will be on in just a moment here too, but let's get to the big story. So the Sabres have decided to part ways with Don Granato after 4 seasons. And you know what? Honestly, it's a good change. A lot of us saw it happening. And even the players are saying we need a coach with structure. So, and they need a coach that actually holds them accountable, which
Yeah,
means
yeah, you know what? That solved all your problems. It totally did.
yeah.
I literally bitched about this for like
No,
2, 3 years,
I was
even the
being,
last couple of months, even.
I was being sarcastic. That solves none of your problems, but sure.
You can't just and I know what you're gonna say. You say you can't always blame the coach, but Adam, if you're only gonna play like shit for the first half of the 6 months of the season and only start to get hot within the last two, and you're already out of contention at that point, what the fuck's the point of even having a good coach, let alone
Why
a good team?
why is Ellis still there?
He's gonna get fired regardless
No,
because
his contract's up anyways, so he's not going to be renewed.
So at this point, you might as well just clean house. You might as well fire the fucking equip manager, the fucking doctor, the fucking mascot. You might as well fire everybody. Don't
dude,
blame
they
anybody.
already fired the anthem singer like
Don't
10 years
don't
ago
don't blame anything on the fucking players that are actually scoring the goals and letting the goals in.
when they feel like it.
Well, there you go. Not
Okay, man.
take some onus for the fucking players, dude. Your players are not playing up to their standards.
Mhm.
Trust me, I see that firsthand. Like the players, they have to hold themselves accountable. They've all said it. It's so shit that even Granato is being canned for that specific reason. Is because accountability was never in play to begin with. So getting someone like with experience, I'm curious who it is. I mean, whoever they bring in, hopefully they can bring the fire under their belly. That's what all I'm asking for.
They gotta
Mhm.
want it, dude. They gotta want it. Doesn't matter who the fucking coach is. They gotta want that.
Right.
Like I've heard like names like Craig Berube brought up. I've heard Lindy Ruff brought up, which I don't want back either way. Michael Pecker was brought up. Seth Apperts was brought up, and he's the head coach of the Rochester Americans. For those of you who don't know, um, who else was brought up? Rob Brendan Moore was brought up. I don't see him coming to Buffalo. I think he's going to stay in Raleigh, even though his contract ends this year. Um, there was another one. Gerard Gallant, yeah, that was another one that was brought up as well. The ex-head coach of the New York Rangers, he was brought up. So really,
What about fucking where's Dom Hasek these days?
Dominic Koshik's not a coach.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought
Listen,
I thought he's back overseas last I remember.
yeah, he was overseas,
He lives in Europe.
Mhm.
but
He
he's
ain't come
yeah. I mean,
Isn't he like from like Belarus?
from
no,
Czechoslovakia.
Mhm.
Czechoslovakia. Okay, sorry, my bad.
yeah, he
All right,
he
guys,
Yeah,
give
literally
me a
won.
moment.
He literally won a gold medal with the Czech Republican team in the Olympics in like '98 or something like that. Whatever that year was.
What goalie played for Belarus? Was it Urbe? Artis Urbe?
Yeah,
No,
Archie.
Archie Zerbe was from Latvia.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Archie Zerbe did coach the Sabres. He was the goaltending coach for a few years under like Ted Nolan or whoever it was that he was under, but it was like a really bad like era of like shittiness at that point. Like this is when like the Sabres were like really bad at that point. Like when they had like no Jack Eichel, no Sam Reinhart, no nothing. That was when Archer Zerbe was the goaltending coach for the Sabres at that point.
I think that's when Gergensen was an all-star.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking because I think that was like the 1 year where he was actually like good, and then everything else in between was like he was just a fourth line grinder who did a little to nothing at that point.
Well,
But
everybody was so shitty. You had to pick someone.
well, I'll tell you this right now: I will put a fucking noose across my neck if the Sabres even ever consider entertaining the idea of Lane Lambert. I swear to fucking God, Lane Lambert will make that team into an unmedicated disaster. I'm telling you right now, do not bring Lane Lambert to Buffalo because I've
You
already
need,
experienced that with the Islanders. Do not do it.
you need a guy. You need a guy like fucking Torts, dude. That's what you need. Fucking shake that fucking bitch up.
I would love Torts, but he's already said he's going to retire after his contract with the Flyers ends.
That guy will put the fucking fear of God in those players, dude. And that's I feel like that's what they need. They need to be benched. Half the players in the fucking two top lines need to be fucking benched.
You
Because
mean by God, you mean like having a second half collapse and then missing the playoffs, even though they were in a
I'm just
playoff spot
saying,
for the
like
majority of the
when the
season?
players are playing like shit, which has happened a lot of times this year, there's some like gleamy moments here and there. But when players are playing like shit, you get demoted. That's just the way it works. Or you get fucking benched.
Funny you say that because that's what Tage Thompson said in his presser.
Yeah, well, that's what should happen.
They know they've been every single player that I've watched in their interviews have said everything about accountability. They need someone to push them a little bit more in certain ways.
You need somebody
And
to fire a fucking bunch of pucks at their fucking face and every practice and be like, listen, if you're gonna fucking play like this, then why are you even here?
yeah, they know that's what they've been saying. So obviously that's something that Donnie didn't do. Donnie took him as far as he's gonna take him. I thought he was gonna get at least one more year, one more crack at it, but
The problem is, and this is my my thing is
the team,
Granato is not the coach, like you said, to fucking come down on a player. And he didn't have the fucking veteran presence other than Skinner that's non-existent
exactly.
to fucking take the players aside and be like, listen, this is unacceptable. This is bullshit. We can't fucking play like this. They didn't have that. So obviously they're gonna look a bunch of college kids, young, like one of the youngest teams in the NHL, and they're gonna act like a bunch of toddlers. And that's what you get.
Yep, and that's why Adams is looking for an experienced NHL coach with pedigree. So
Yeah, by
Not
pedigree,
really
I'm
low, though.
hoping like a straightforward, no nonsense, conservative coach. Somebody that's going to structure the team and get them on the right path. I don't mind Craig Berube, but he better have a fucking playbook if he's going to come back. If you're going to be on the panel, the TNT or NHL Network waiting for a job, then you better pray that you land on it because at that point in time, you have to accommodate for what you've been able to succeed. Because if they bring in Craig Berube by any means necessary, they're going to look at his resume and they're going to say, wow, he won a Stanley Cup in 2019 with an underachieving Blues team, which is a hell of an accomplishment. But then they're going to think that he's a Hall of Fame coach or some superstar coach when he's not. He was just a really good coach at that time, and his system has derailed since then. It's the equivalent of what's happening right now with Mike Sullivan in Pittsburgh. Mike Sullivan has been there for way too long in Pittsburgh. They won 2 Stanley Cups, yes, but at some point in time, he's still coaching the team like it's 2016, and that's why they're starting to go downhill because they're old and they're injury prone, and they're not the same as they used to be.
How is
But
that
they're
his
also
fault though?
driving into a
That's not
system
that's
that
not his
Mike
fault.
Sullivan has for 10 years.
That's not his fault though. He's coached since 2016, and the team has fucking went downhill since. People get old. That's not
yeah,
his fucking fault.
the entire core is old.
Yeah, the core
Holy
is
shit.
depleting, dude. They don't have the core anymore.
It's the same.
They're getting old.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Tampa. Your core is getting old. You're going to keep getting into the playoffs and using your first round draft picks to get players at the deadline, and you're not really putting anything back in the cupboard. So yeah, Crosby's old, Malkin's old, Carlson's old, the Tang's old.
You know who else is old? The Capitals, and they still made the playoffs.
Yeah,
But
with
by
a
empty net
difference.
regulation goal, are you fucked? It shouldn't even be in the playoffs.
No, minus 35 differential. That
You're not
has
gonna go
never
anywhere.
been
You're
in
fucking
fucking.
destroyed. You're gonna get fucking destroyed.
Nobody has ever made that in playoff history with a minus 35 goal differential. Are you fucking kidding me? They got fucking supremely lucky to be in.
Tom, your
and
mic is muted, dude.
And they're because he's on the phone.
Oh,
But anyways,
it is
No, he's
still
not.
muted. Okay.
okay. But
Yeah,
anyways,
I noticed
yeah,
like the one thing
they're
was on
gonna-
red instead of green. So
they're gonna get fucking ousted in the first round. They're gonna be fucking
They're
embarrassed.
fucking. Rangers are gonna fucking murder them. I'm not even.
I
It's not
hate
even.
that.
oh yeah, it'll probably be like 4 or 5 games and that's it.
Do
Yeah.
you see the thing on the Washington Capitals fucking fan page? One of the fan pages I looked at
Yeah.
was like the fans didn't even want them to make the playoffs.
Mhm.
Well,
They
you
knew
made it.
they knew that they're gonna get fucking embarrassed, dude. They're gonna get fucking
Right.
beat to shit. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be in the competition.
Yeah,
Well, I mean-
only reason Caps are there is because of the fact that Tortorella was a moron.
Yes, and he pulled the fucking goalie. He
Yeah.
pulled the fucking goalie. I think he did it on fucking purpose.
Yeah,
When
it's
I
like,
said
why
that-
would you do that with like 3 minutes left? I mean, come on.
When I
He
said
knew.
that,
Dude, he
man,
fucking knew.
I literally watched Detroit from like 35 seconds on, pushing to tie it, and with that 7.7 left, the face-off in Montreal's ozone. They win the back for a one-time
Mhm.
shot, and it goes in. Like, holy fuck, they tie it, and then they cut to the Washington game, and then I see it with 3 minutes left, and I see Oshie going down for the open net goal. I'm like, oh my god. How
Dude,
the
I'm
hell
telling you, he fucking did that to fuck with Detroit. He did it on purpose.
3 minutes left? Like, I understand you got 3 minutes, but you could have probably done that with a minute 30, a minute 45. But
You don't
You
think
know
that
what?
they were fucking
It actually
doing
reminds me
fucking-
of like I think the only reason why they did that was so that Tortorella could prevent the Penguins from making the playoffs.
No, they were fucking. He was fucking Detroit too. Detroit deserved to be there, dude.
they back-to-back fucking overtime wins to get their shot, and they get fucked by Tortorella.
Fucking
doing
ass
that
dry by Tortorella.
I know the Flyers needed a regulation win, but dude, like 3
Mhm.
minutes open net, that's some Phil House.
Yeah.
Dude, they didn't even have control of the fucking puck fully. When he pulled the goalie, they didn't even have the puck.
Right.
Yeah, they threw it on net. They scooped up the rebound, went off the boards, and out to O'Shea.
Yeah,
TJ
'cause they didn't have full control. I guarantee you, dude, he fucking did it purposely. He did it purposely.
It's not
Yeah,
like
if I'm-
it's not the first time I've seen that.
He's a dick, dude. He's an absolute dick.
Well, they
Mhm.
couldn't. They needed a regulation win. They couldn't go to overtime and win it.
No,
They
I
need,
get that, but Jesus Christ, he didn't even have control of the puck.
I know. They threw it on net, and the goalie went to the net.
Yep.
Fucking-
He was already halfway across the ice when he went
And
to
people-
shoot it at the net. And I'm like,
and-
oh my god.
And you probably wonder why nobody takes the Flyers seriously in the second half of the season every time now. Oh my God. That was a total choke job, and everybody that follows the NHL knows this, that the Flyers, they were in total control of their own destiny for 1/3 or 2/3 of the season, and it just came down to the last 3 fucking weeks just for them to shit the bed. I think if they actually were healthy, or if they were actually driving into towards a system, or whatever happened, I don't know what the whole background of that story was, but whatever the Flyers did, it just completely shambolic like their entire season, and it just went down the shitter like the Titanic. Like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't even think of anything in between of all that.
Right.
They
Yeah.
actually, the Titanic actually hit an iceberg, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the point. The Flyers were the Titanic, and they hit a goddamn iceberg.
Yep. And we have our first comment of the night. Our friend Brad from Kentucky is actually watching as usual when he's at work, and he just basically ended up calling the Arizona Coyotes the Utah Fighting Mormons.
The Fighting
Hey,
Mormons.
I like
That's
Yeah,
a good name.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, it is Mormon country out there. It's like
that's what
it's
all
like
is
a
fucking
dry
Mormon.
area.
Nobody fucking cares about you. Jesus Christ. The only thing I remember from Salt Lake City was the goddamn Olympics, like how many years ago?
Right.
Other than that, I never heard anything about it.
Yep.
That was the 2002 Salt Lake Olympics, and with the gold medal. Oh, and by the way, Canada won that Olympic gold medal in 2002.
Of course we did.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, guy.
Not
Mhm.
surprised. Not surprised.
Well,
Yeah.
Nikita Kucherov just got his 100th assist.
Since
Nice.
Connor
I need
McDavid.
Matthews. I need Matthews to get a 70th, dude. I need it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
needed 2 for fantasy purposes. He needs to fucking hurry up and get this done.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we're down
exactly.
5-1 right now with the second period almost over. So
I know
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Yep. Real quick, I'm gonna mute myself again because I got one thing I gotta fix real quick. But I was gonna say, for anyone who watched that Maple Leafs game last night, how about Matthews getting stonewalled on that number 70 attempt that should have been number 70?
dude, he fucking got. He had so many.
robbed 3 times.
He had robbed like 6 times, dude.
Yeah. He could have easily.
Dude, here's a stat for you. Matthews has hit the post 20 times this year. Post. And he could have had easily 80 goals. It's an NHL record.
Right. But I'm like, how did he not bury 70 on that one attempt?
Just wasn't meant to happen, I guess.
Yeah. But that would have been a sweet goal, though. Backhand the forehand. Oh, man.
Yeah, would have been nice.
I still think he's going to get it. I still have hope. I don't give a fuck if the Leafs win or lose this game. It doesn't mean anything, obviously.
Oh, right. They're already in.
Well, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about playing Boston for the 5th billionth time?
I'd rather play Boston than the Panthers. That's for damn well sure.
Really? Even though Boston has made you their bitch for the last decade?
Hey,
Dude, what team is better?
I'll be right
what
back,
team
guys.
is better right now? What team is better? What team are you more scared of if you're playing them?
Between what teams?
Florida and Boston.
I'm more scared of Boston than I am Florida, because Florida, let's be honest with ourselves, Florida legit went on a run last year out of their ass. They were the worst team going into the playoffs, and they somehow beat the best team in the playoffs and went all the way to the cup.
It's not the same fucking team, though. They're just better now.
I understand that, but things happen over time.
Dude, they put up 31 shots in the second period against the Leafs last night. 31 fucking shots in the second period.
That's insane.
That's not a lucky fucking, a team. That's a good team, dude.
Yeah,
I would not want to play them in the first round.
They're going to be a fucking force. They're going to be a fucking force in the playoffs this year. You thought fucking they were coming up and being lucky last year. They are full force this year.
And that's the thing is, too, everyone's like, oh, well, I wouldn't want to play Florida either because you guys lost to them last year. I'm like, dude, 4 of the 5 fucking games were 1-goal games. 2 of the 4 games were overtime. It wasn't a beatdown. They beat us in overtime twice. They beat us 1-goal games 4 times.
What about Boston?
You know what? I'm not concerned about Boston. I'm not.
Yeah, Boston, I don't know. I mean,
they just lost fucking to like scrubs of the NHL. They've been on a fucking downhill turn since after the All-Star break, dude.
They're tough to play against, but I just don't think they can match the firepower of the Panthers or Toronto. To be honest with you,
they can't. They can't, dude. Their defense, yes, a little bit better than Toronto's. The defense of Panthers is way better. It's just they have that fucking dump and chase game down pat, dude.
It's very hard to cover the 4 main guys of their core. It was Sammy Reinhart, Barkov, Verhaeghe, and Kachuk.
Their forecheck is fucking unbelievable.
Very hard to play against.
I mean, at this point, who knows what's going to happen? But I'll say this. I would rather, because I'm an Islander fan also, I would rather see them play Carolina because they play much better against them than they would against the Rangers. Because I said this to Andy the other day. I said, even if they played the Rangers tomorrow, the Islanders have almost little to no shot to beat them.
The Hurricanes are going to mop the floor with the Islanders.
Well, I don't know about mopping the floor because usually the Islanders give them their best efforts against Carolina. And this is a completely different coach system than what last year was. Because last year's team, they tried, but they weren't good enough to beat Carolina. This year, they might do it. I really don't know.
They'll win 1 at home. It'll be 4-1 series.
If they get at least 1 game in Raleigh, the Islanders have a chance. That's the only thing they need. They just need 1 game in Raleigh, and they got a shot.
Just depends on goaltending. Sorokin and where's what, Anderson?
Yeah, Semyon Varlamov and Ilya Sorokin. But I'll tell you this too. Sorokin's playing right now. They're playing the Penguins. They're tied at 3 in the end of the second. I'm telling you right now, they're going to let Sorokin rest because I would say if they don't play Varlamov in the series, I don't know if Patrick Waugh is just brain dead or if he's just thinking Sorokin is just coming into a hot hand. I really have no clue. But as far as if I were Patrick Waugh, I would probably go with Varlamov. And they're also going into this without Noah Dobson. And I get it. The Hurricanes defense is stellar. It's amazing. But if they don't win any playoff chances, like if they might be down, they're sure. But if they don't go far this year, there's at least 13 free agents on that team. And they're not going to be able to sign anybody at that point. Maybe like 3 or 4 guys. But outside of that, this is probably Carolina's last chance with this core to win a cup. And if they get past the Islanders, then so be it.
I have a prediction that Freddie Anderson's going to go on a fucking beast streak, dude.
See, I don't know. They might go with possible. Antti Raanta.
I think he's going to go into beast mode, like Bob Broski last year.
They're only going to go as far as Freddie Anderson, to be honest with you. I mean, getting Jake Gensel and Kuzi to balance out the top 6, plus that decor, they can go far. But like I said, that goaltending's Freddie's got to take them, somewhere.
He's got to be the one. He's the last stop. He's got to be that one.
Because Brendan Moore might not be there. You never know. After this year,
if you take it into consideration, if they played the Rangers instead of the Hurricanes, if the Rangers, God forbid, won the series, Islander fans, including myself, would never hear the end of it from Ranger fans. They never would hear the end of it.
Well,
so I'm kind of glad they're playing Carolina.
Well, it's good that you're getting let down easy.
Well, listen, I don't mind losing to Carolina. I mean, I don't care for them, but I would rather lose to them than to the fucking Rangers.
Well, just think of it this way: if you win the series, which you're not going to,
you never know.
You might have to play them. So eventually, you're going to get put out. You're not going to get the Stanley Cup, dude. So I don't know why you're.
If they play the Rangers, if they beat the Hurricanes somehow, and they play the Rangers in the semis, so be it. Give them their best shot. Because you know what? Even if they played them in round 2, I'd welcome it. I honestly, if you want to win a cup, I honestly would welcome it.
Well, you have to. You have to beat them. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm sure you felt the same way I did. Like you would rather like when the Leafs played Montreal a few years ago when they went to the Cup Finals. I'm sure you've never heard the end of it from Habs fans when they beat the Leafs in 7.
You know what? It wasn't that bad because it was like a COVID season and no one gave a fuck.
Well, I mean, right now, if they were playing the Rangers, it would be a completely different story. But aside that, though,
I can say this.
I'm not really expecting a whole lot.
I can say this like easily and say that the Leafs put up a bigger fight than the Islanders would against the fucking Rangers.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe 100%, dude. What do you think that if you were in the playoff series, say if the Islanders played the Leafs, you think the Islanders would beat the Leafs?
Well, I don't really know because every game between the two is very on and off. There's no consistency.
No, I'm just telling you, you'd never win that battle. Dude. You'd never win it. On their worst day, you wouldn't fucking lose to the fucking Islanders.
Listen, I think between you and me, Adam, the Islanders have probably won more playoff games in the last 4 or 5 years than the Leafs have without Jontay Porter. And you and I have already talked about this.
Oh, God. Here we go. Still butthurt, eh? Still butthurt.
I'm not butthurt, dude. You have Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Willie Nylander, Jontay Porter. You won 1 fucking playoff series with those 4 guys together.
I'm just saying. I feel like you're still... Like most Islanders fans.
They went to the conference finals 2 years in a row and went to the playoffs 5 in the last 6 years. How the fuck am I butthurt?
You need a hug.
I'm just asking you a legit question, dude.
Needs a little rub and a tug.
Exactly.
He needs that little Barney song. It's like, I love you, you love me, we're whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you would want to have fun with that purple dinosaur now, wouldn't you?
You know what? I'd rather put my dick through that fucking furry ass dinosaur than have to deal with his bullshit about me being butthurt. I'm just throwing it out there.
Careful, Tom. You're wearing purple.
Yeah,
true.
Don't bend over. Don't drop the soap.
Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you could say to me that I'm crying a river, but at least the Islanders won more playoff series without JT. So suck my balls.
There you go.
At
See,
least your Avalanche. At least
this
my
goes back
Avalanche.
to JT again. Still butthurt after all these years.
Oh my God. Are you not butthurt that Pierre Engvall is actually doing better here than he was in Toronto?
What a fourth line fucking player? No, I don't care.
Yes, that guy that actually did
I
shit.
don't.
Well,
I
by the
don't
way, you
care.
gave him a really shitty introduction back and just happened to score the game-winning goal in Toronto.
You know what? If he was an actual like somebody, I'd care, but I don't really care.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on. It's not like I felt bad when Jason Blake left for the Leafs or anything like that. Like, I was happy for Jason Blake, but it's a whole different story.
Right.
Apples
Well,
and oranges once again.
at least I can say for my Avalanche, we got a tough test right off the hop.
See, you finally came out of the closet.
What do you mean?
Well,
finally?
What?
it is. It is a hard test, dude. That's a fucking hard team to play.
Yeah.
Listen, I have a lot of confidence in Colorado. I really do. Colorado's a good team.
McKinnon, dude. McKinnon's going to carry that team. No one else.
It's not going to be easy. I'm facing Hellebuck, and they're starting to roll right now. So
Hellebuck is definitely the best goalie in the fucking league, dude. He is 100%.
Georgie's been playing like shit lately. I don't know what to think. Like I'm nervous already, and they haven't even played game one yet.
It's gonna be tough, dude. It's gonna be tough. Be a hard fought series. I think it'll go 6-7 games for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely because if Georgie doesn't get his fucking shit together, they'd be fucking one and done.
Because there's a lot of offense on both sides, so it's gonna be a fire fucking fight for sure.
So that's why I'm not totally sold. I mean, as much as I want to push them through Winnipeg, I know it's not going to be fucking easy whatsoever off the hop.
Right.
No.
Tom, who do you have for the cup this year? Or do you have a specific team you're picking this year to go to the cup?
I haven't really thought about it too much, but I would say it's gonna probably be someone from the Western Conference. I mean, that's kind of what my take is on it. Don't be surprised if Vegas makes another deep run, but I'm really interested to see what the Canucks do because of how they locked up the Pacific.
Oh,
I
out in
like
the first
that.
round. Out in the first round.
My key sleeper is Dallas, to be honest with you.
Ooh, okay.
My key pick is honestly, and as much as I fucking hate it, my sleeper pick for the cup is honestly the Rangers. As much as I fucking hate them.
I got the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers is another solid one.
I wouldn't be against Florida winning the cup.
I could see a Dallas Panthers thing going too, to be honest with you.
That'd be a fucking hell of a fucking Stanley Cup, dude.
That'd be a great series.
It would be. I mean, for me, I would probably say Dallas and the Rangers.
The Rags ain't getting past the second round, dude.
I have no faith in them, honestly.
They
I
choke.
really don't. And usually, in my lifetime, the Rangers to me have always been like the equivalent to the Yankees, where they just consistently draft good players and buy their players, and then go all the way to the third round or the fourth round, and then choke on their own shit. And the Rangers have been like that with me my entire life. And every single fan of mine that I at least know that are buddies of mine that are Ranger fans have always been obnoxious to me within the last 25, 27 years about it. And they don't ever shut the fuck up about how great their team is. And yet they still choke in the playoffs.
It's gonna come to the same thing, the goaltending for the Rangers.
Right.
It's been stellar all year, but like, can it, fall over into the playoffs?
Well, Chesty's been a little iffy this year. He hasn't been at the top of his game either.
That's what I mean. So you got two goalies that are like 50-50, and you're playing a team that probably, get a couple weak ones past you, and then there's a new series, right? And it's I don't know. Playoff hockey is totally different.
I think if Florida plays if the Rangers play the Panthers, they won't get by the Panthers. I don't think.
Panthers have beat the shit out of them, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what's going to happen at this point?
Well, I guess we'll have to do our brackets shortly or soon.
Well, the only problem is that we have to wait for the Western Conference because I actually tried looking into the bracket challenge while I was waiting for my appointment in physical therapy, and unfortunately, the West is not filled yet because there's still a handful of regular season games that had to be played tonight and tomorrow. So we can't really do anything about it.
Physical therapy.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of clusterfucks, and we just got news from the Coyote Central group. They just said that the Arizona Coyotes themselves are shutting down the fan tailgate and watch party outside of Mullet Arena tonight, just to disappoint them one more time.
Closing up shop real early.
Yeah, good riddance.
You want to know something? You want to know something really funny? The only scorer for the Leafs tonight. Can you guess who it was? Andy, don't say anything.
Well, are the Leafs playing tonight?
Yeah, they're playing the Tampa right now. They're losing 5-1.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But anyway, can you guess?
I'm gonna say, is it a defenseman?
I'm not gonna give you any hints. Just guess a player.
Morgan Riley.
No, bad guess.
What's the question?
Who scored Toronto's only goal tonight? Don't. If you know it, don't say it.
All right, I won't say it because I know.
Tom, what's your guess?
About
Who's the only Leaf scorer that scored the only goal against Florida tonight?
Against Tampa, idiot.
I said Morgan Riley.
It's against Tampa, by the way, not Florida.
Lilligren, maybe?
No, Ryan Reeves.
Ooh, okay.
What a waste of oxygen he is.
No,
Yeah.
you'll see come playoff time how much he's not.
Right.
Well, I mean, you do have the big bad Bruins, so good luck.
Oh, Ryan Reeves has put some knuckles down.
Right, because he did so well in Vegas.
Yeah.
And you know what? Doesn't matter what he did in Vegas. It's what he does here in the playoffs.
You're gonna be very
Very
disappointed,
true.
guy. I love you, man. You're my friend, but holy shit, he's useless.
Keep talking shit.
What do you mean? Adam, it's very obvious. They're gonna get their ass kicked in 7, and you're just gonna be disappointed again.
Okay, all right. We'll see, dude. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm saying we'll see. I'm not gonna fucking talk shit. When
it's almost as big as a disappointment as the Islanders. I mean, I can at least admit that.
They don't even have half their fucking players that they had so many years ago. So we'll see. We'll see how Boston does. See if they can keep up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Holy shit. I mean, this is one of the best times of the year to watch Stanley Cup playoff hockey. Unfortunately, though, and I really want to do a bracket challenge, but we can't do it because these fucking games still have to be played tonight and tomorrow. And then playoffs, and what we can talk about, though, is that the schedule for the first games of each series in the Eastern Conference has already been unveiled, which is insane to me already. So apparently the Islanders are playing first. They're playing at 5:00 against the Hurricanes in game 1 in Raleigh. And then the Leafs play the Bruins at 8 p.m. on Saturday. Those are the first 2 games. And then on Sunday at 12:30, the Rangers play the Capitals at Madison Square Garden. And then the last one, I think, is at 3 or 5, somewhere in between there, where the Panthers play the Lightning.
It's gonna be a good series too. It's gonna be a good series, dude. Panthers and Lightning.
Oh yeah, the Battle of Florida.
Yeah.
Battle of the Sunshine State.
Yeah. Them two teams usually play each other pretty tough.
Almost like it was planned or something. Yeah.
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 Seems like they do it every year.
Thanks, Gary Bettman.
Yeah, seriously.
Called them some papers in the refs, eh? Makes sense.
That whole concept has to be changed. Nobody likes the way this bracket falls anymore.
No, it's fucking bullshit. Go 1-8. Fucking go 1-8 again, dude. This whole wild card bullshit. This fucking you're rewarding teams for playing shitty all year.
It's basically baseball's, playoff bracket.
Yeah, which should never be a part of hockey. Hockey and baseball is like nobody gives a fuck.
Where do you think the NHL got their inspiration from?
I'm just saying, why? What when it was working fine, 1-8.
Well, I also think it's because of the realignment at the time when they first did it, like 10 years ago.
They didn't have to change shit. They could have kept everything the same way.
Well, that's not entirely true because the Red Wings moved from the west to the east and they changed up the time zone, so they had to do the realignment. And Columbus moved to the east at the time as well.
1-8. 1-8 is all you need.
Dude, Winnipeg was in the Eastern Conference that for 2 years, and then the realignment came and they went to the West, and that made more sense.
I remember when
Again.
Toronto was in the
Doesn't matter though. It's 1 to 8 works better.
I understand that. I like that system better, but the realignment was there for a reason.
Oh my god, I feel like slamming my head to the wall. Shut up, Bobby. For the love of fuck. Shut up.
Yeah. Shove it up your ass with your Canadian bacon. So and we'll wiggle it up there and right into the stardom. How about that?
Good
I like
comeback.
Canadian bacon.
Yeah. Well,
No, but it needs to change. That whole format, it's ran its course. It can go back to 1 and 8. I mean,
Go back to 1 to 8, dude.
yeah. Well, speaking of real-time hockey update right now, Lightning is beating Toronto 5-1 at the beginning of the third.
I already said this, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I just realized? Next Thursday is the actual 2024 NFL draft, like the legit real thing.
Oh,
next
sweet.
Thursday.
Means next Wednesday we're not on because we're gonna have the draft special Thursday night.
Well, I think we could still do Wednesday. It's just that Thursday is just going to be the draft as its own. That's what I think.
No, we don't all have as much time on our hands as you have.
I know that because you're fucking women all the time, and Andy's just playing with his dick for whatever reason, and Tom,
I'm working
Tom is just
15-hour
Tom.
days, dude. I'm working 15-hour fucking days. I don't have time to come on every
Yeah.
night, 2 nights in a week.
Well, listen, if you can't come, you can't come. It's very simple.
Right. That's why I'm thinking let's go live Thursday because then that way, we've got one show, but we'll do an extended show.
All right, fine. If that's what you want to do, we can do that as well.
Okay. As long as it pleases you, Bobby. As long as it pleases your vagina ass.
Whatever.
Listen, I'm not the one bitching about markets in Canada, okay? Let's just put it that way.
Tom, at what point did I bitch about markets in Canada tonight?
Coyotes. You
I
want
was
to go
gonna say you actually
remember
honestly you really haven't. I mean, we talked about it last week, but we haven't talked about that really tonight. Although I will say,
basically said nobody cares about the fucking Coyotes, and let's move on because this is a dumb topic.
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
So what out of Canadian markets? What did you get out of that? What Canadian markets did I talk about?
Nova Scotia, Hamilton, Quebec City.
That was like 2 weeks ago, dude.
Toronto for a possible second expansion team and things like that.
That was 2 weeks ago. Dumb shit. 2 weeks ago.
That was not 2 weeks ago, Adam. Go back to last week's episode. It was right there. It's on Spotify.
I didn't talk about it tonight. Are you fucking retarded?
No, I'm not. It's last week's episode, dipshit. Just watch it.
Dude, I was gone for like 10 minutes of this episode, and even I know he didn't talk about it.
Oh my god, man. I swear to God.
Canadian bacon.
Female bacon. It's fucking delicious.
That stuff is good.
Is Canadian bacon actually bacon or is it just ham?
You've never had it?
Yes, I have, but I hardly remember it.
Why are you asking me then, you fucking dumbass?
I've had Canadian bacon. Just not in a while.
Okay, what's Canadian bacon like then if you've had it?
Yeah, asshole.
It's ham. It's literally ham.
Sometimes I wonder if you reach puberty, Bob. It's ham.
Dude, it's like the same cut as like what you would have with regular bacon. It's just slightly different.
Yeah, it's not off the pig's fucking ass. That's all it is.
Right. But female bacon is still really good.
With maple syrup, yes.
Well, it's good. It's good. Have you ever had eggs Benny?
Yes.
Well, you take that and you put female bacon on it, and you fucking put it on an English muffin, dude, and it's fucking
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Sandwich of champions right there.
Hell yeah. You know what's really fucking good that I love? And Tom actually had it with me. What?
Your mom?
No, dumbass. No, I was gonna say was the fucking Hungry Man. That
was good. That was good. Although you, and you wouldn't even eat it. It was actually me that you didn't even eat it when I was down there. I actually chowed down on that thing the first day I was there.
Yeah, I know because I had them on a consistent base, and the one day that you just happened to have it, I didn't have it because I had it within 2 nights prior. How about this? When you come down to Long Island in the summer, we'll have a Hungry Man together.
Well,
How about
of course. Well, yeah, of course we're gonna have that. No doubt.
I feel like I'm wasting precious time in my life that I can't get back right now.
That's how I felt about his argument going on and on and on and on yesterday. Where I wanted to put my hand through the phone like Family Guy and smack him one.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Now
no,
you know what
that
I'm going through. Now you know what I'm going through, Adam.
I feel your pain, dude. I've been
Yeah.
dealing with
We
years
all do,
before
man.
you.
Wait, weren't we just on track about fucking Buffalo and coaches, and then we ended up at fucking Egg Benedict?
no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. We're not doing this again because they told me to shut the fuck up already. So we're not
Oh,
doing this again.
I just heard like 2 minutes of that Coach Sabres conversation, and the next thing you know, we're at Eggs Benedict and shit. So I don't know where I am right now. Yeah, next topic.
Score
Okay.
update. The Islanders just scored 4-3 early in the third against the Penguins. You can thank Casey Cizikas for that.
Cares? You're in the playoffs. Who gives a shit?
I don't give a shit. I want to win a fucking game, okay?
I
Yeah,
don't win
Islanders will be out in the series, though.
Not
That's
gonna
just my
matter.
guess.
It's not gonna matter. You're out.
Be out in 6 games. There you go.
Oh God, I love playoff hockey.
And then
Well, we'll
and then
see.
watch Patrick Waugh like almost break the glass again.
You know what? I would love for him to do that.
That
Like
would
he
be
did against
hilarious.
Booth Boudreaux that one time. Oh yeah, that was the
Yeah,
best.
that would be good.
Can you
You
tell
know
me,
what? I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Bobby? Can you tell me why they let Lane Lambert go? I looked at the stats yesterday between him and Patrick, and they're actually very
Not much
similar.
different.
I'll tell you exactly why Lane Lambert got let go. Lane Lambert got let go because the players weren't buying into a system. The power play was fucking atrocious, and he was basically the right-hand man for Barry Trotz. And he was there in every city that he's ever gone to, whether it was Nashville, whether it was Washington, even Long Island. And Trotz got fired for no reason other than missing the playoffs for that 1 year. Lambert got the job for that. And the next thing you know, he's like, we're going to play similar to Barry Trotz. And after 3-4 years, no, the fuck he didn't. He didn't do anything like Barry Trotz did. And so people were saying for years that he should have gotten fired. They needed someone with the right mindset. I mean, Patrick Watt, is he the cleanest coach in the world? No, but I would prefer him right now based on momentum than what Lane Lambert did with them for years.
Okay, so if you're in the same situation right now, you weren't in the playoffs, what do you be saying now?
Listen, the Islanders wouldn't even be in the playoffs right now if Lane Lambert was the coach because of how derailed his system was. Because he
Okay,
took
so
that power play,
Okay.
he was basically given lemons and made it into shit. Basically, that was what
Okay.
Lane Lambert did
But
with that power play.
you're under the mentality that if they didn't fire that coach at that time, that Patrick Waugh is a savior all of a sudden.
Well, at least Patrick Waugh got them into the playoffs with a
But
little bit
what if he
more
didn't?
ease than what they did a
What if he
year
didn't?
ago.
right, but
Yeah,
what if he didn't make it happen?
What if he didn't?
That's what I'm saying. If Patrick Waugh got
Would he
fired,
be
I
a
would have
good
said, you know
too?
what? If they didn't make the playoffs that first year, I would have said, all right, they need to retool and go back into it in October. Because that way
We're
that
gonna
people can actually buy into a system and learn it over the time and then go into training camp and then learn it from there. That's how I view it.
so
If they didn't make the playoffs this year.
you would have been like, oh, you know what? We didn't make the playoffs. We need to fire a coach. Solves everything.
No, Adam. There's a big difference between Don Granato and Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh was not labeled as an interim coach who had to earn his stripes. That's a permanent coaching job. Even if they didn't make the playoffs, I would have still said, you know what? It's within 3-4 months. It's impossible for him to get everybody to buy into his system. Give the guy a chance and then see what happens within a full season. Because the dude literally got in just a week before the Stadium Series. And Don Granato was there for at least 3 or 4 years, and people were like, okay, we've seen a good handful of years. He can't get over the hump. He can't get them into accountability, as you clearly saw. Lou Lamoriello, if he knows there's something wrong, he'll easily pull the trigger, and that's exactly what he did. He's not afraid to make those bold moves. And I know he's ancient, but he still did the right thing by firing Lane Lambert.
Yeah.
They still have a similar record between the two, and the stats ain't much different. Besides, they've allowed less than half a goal a game. So,
Right.
all right, whatever.
I know exactly why, because Lou Lamoriello, and I'll tell you this too. When was the last time, Andy, in your head, on the top of your head, when was the last time the Islanders made a blockbuster deal at the trade deadline?
Oh, geez, I really have to think that.
Like almost never.
Exactly. The Islanders barely made any moves because, like, yeah, if you want to count Bo Horvat, sure, but that was like within like a month and a half prior to the trade deadline. That almost doesn't count. I'm talking about like closer to the trade deadline. Like the big mega deal that would be like, okay, they're gonna go far in the playoffs. Like you see, like contenders every year do this. I mean, it wasn't a big deadline this year, but just generally, they haven't made a big trade deadline move since like JG
I
Pageau, which
know
was like
why.
5 fucking years ago.
I know why. I know why. Because they were never contenders.
At that time, they were because Barry Trotz was the coach. They didn't need a whole lot. He took a group of misfits and guided them into the playoffs.
But they were never contenders, though.
What are you talking about? They went to the fucking conference finals.
Okay.
Adam, I think that's a pretty good coaching job if you take a bunch of misfits who didn't deserve to make the playoffs to the conference finals, being some of the best teams in 2 years in a row at that time.
Uh-huh. Sure. Sure thing.
Yeah.
Wait, so you think Sheldon Keefe is somehow better than Barry Trotz or at that point in time?
When did I say that?
No. So I'm just throwing it out there.
I didn't say that. You can
Jesus,
throw it out
dude.
there all you want, but I didn't say anything.
It doesn't matter. The core of the Islanders ain't gonna be around for too long.
Nah. They can be
Yeah, wait, what
irrelevant.
was the question? Will the Islanders what?
No, they're gonna be irrelevant again in a couple of years.
Trust me, I am mentally prepared for that. I
I
am
hope so.
not. I
I
am
hope so.
literally have submitted myself into that point where they're going to be irrelevant. They're one of the oldest teams in the league, so it's not like an overnight sensation where they're like, "Wow, they made the playoffs," and then they go to utter shit. So it's not like I'm expecting them to just collapse.
Who are
It's
they
gonna happen.
building? Who are they building around Barzal? I mean, there's
No,
no.
they're building around Sorokin. That's the goal because Sorokin has an 8-year deal worth around, I want to say 64 million because he made like 8.5 million last year because he re-signed last year. Same with Barzell. Barzell got an 8-year deal. Sorokin got an 8-year deal. Pretty much everybody else got 8-year deals.
So,
Bo Horvat, Brock
so you're
Nelson.
building around a goaltender.
Everybody gets 8-year deals. Everyone. Here you go. 8-year deal for you. 8-year deal for you.
That's Lou's biggest issue is that he's done this his whole career. He did it with the Devils. He did it with the Leafs. And Adam would tell you that firsthand is that he gave out massive contracts like candy.
No,
Okay, but who did they have coming up or building up? Or who are their fucking prospects? I don't
They
even know.
don't have one because they traded
Right.
all of them. They don't have
No,
one. They traded them
man.
all.
Exactly.
Look, okay.
Mhm.
So I'll stand this point. The closest one, Andy, that they had was Artu Ratu, but they traded him to the
I know.
Canucks for Bo Horvat.
I know. So you're gonna have Horvat and Barzal, and then
Anders Lee.
And Anders Lee.
Oh my God, that's what you're going banking on, Anders Lee.
Jeez.
Trust me. Listen, exactly. I
Man.
literally legit like I
My
have
point.
like no faith in the Islanders front office. Like, yeah, they're competitive right now, but long term they need a plan.
Exactly.
How many points did they get, like, to get into the playoffs above the wild card?
At least a mid 90 to 93 points to make the playoffs. And that's literally what the Islanders already did weeks prior to like what Washington did or like what Detroit did and what Washington did and all those teams. There was a 5-legged race in between all that. The Islanders were already ahead of them at that time.
So they don't deserve to be there, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying they didn't deserve to be there. I'm just saying they got hot at the right time. And by some coincidence, they were able to beat some good teams. They already beat the Rangers at UBS earlier this past week and then getting an extra point out of it. So I don't care if they lose. I care if they don't put in the effort. And I say this about the Sabres also, is I don't care if they lose. I care if they put in the effort and they say, you know what, we lost, but it was like a game in general. Okay, I can accept that. But that's what the thing is. The Islanders, they don't have the farm system for the future. They have to build around it because Lou Lamoriello, just for some fucking reason, loves to throw around draft picks like they're candy. He gave up a first rounder for Bo Horvat, and he gave up Artur Ratu in to begin with. He gave up a first round pick for JG Pageau a few years ago. And he got a first round pick from Calgary and he traded it. Well, no, I'm sorry. He used it to get Noah Dobson. And then after that, it's just been just thrown away draft picks, thrown away prospects. So that's why you hardly ever hear about the Islanders with their prospect pool because they don't have one.
Because after this year, Lou Lamoriello is probably going to retire and say, fuck the Islanders.
Honestly, I think he's going to die in 3 months.
My God.
I mean, you got Dobson on the back end, but then Really, who
mean,
else you got coming?
Well, then whenever Lou dies or retires or whatever, then they'll get someone I think from another organization. I could tell you, John Ledecky likes to spend money, and when he wants to spend money, he'll get the right coach and the right general manager. I think whoever comes in after Lou Lamoriello, they're gonna take in and they're gonna say, "All right, Patrick, what's your vision on this team?" And we'll figure it out from there. Because right now, Patrick Waugh is Lou Lamoriello's guy.
See what happens with it. But I was gonna say we're actually at the top of the hour, and it's
I
pretty
gotta
quick
go,
how
so-
things went. So I know I gotta get out of here real quick. But last thing I want to throw in there for anyone who followed, well, of course, our friend Brad ended up saying Boston beat the Guardians, so that's good to know. Then the other thing I just want to bring up for anyone who follows from basketball, we have another Pete Rose scandal, and this time Jontay Porter has been banned for life from the NBA for gambling.
Poor thing.
And basically what happened, the investigation found that he purposely limited his participation against in the Raptors versus Sacramento Kings game to specifically influence the outcome of one or more bets based on his performance. And he basically claimed, "Oh, I'm sick," after 3 minutes, which basically caused a lot of people to win money. And it looks like there was at least 13 bets placed on games ranging anywhere from $15 to $22,000, and he ended up winning anywhere between $54,000 to $76,059 for the total payouts. And apparently there was at least winnings of $22,000. So apparently what happened? Hey, he pulled a Pete Rose. So yeah, he's banned for life.
Poor
Again,
thing.
another topic that I don't give two fucks about.
Yeah.
Adam, what the fuck's going on, man? 8 minutes left. He's not getting 70.
Don't
Yeah.
jinx it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 6-1 now.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx
Bro.
it. It can happen.
Yeah.
Bro, he's not
He
gonna
could
get
score 2 goals in 30 seconds, dude. Don't doubt him.
it. I'm making you so upset.
You know what? I think he's already had
Oh man.
that even if he doesn't get to 70, I don't think anybody can doubt that Austin Matthews is the best natural goal scorer in the fucking NHL.
Yeah. And then wrap it up, Brad also ends up doing his Stuart from Mad TV voice where he says, "I want." so
Bobby.
God damn.
oh man.
No, but I had fun at tonight's episode for sure.
Yep. Same
Yeah,
here.
anyways.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
people gotta go. I gotta go pick my child up, so get fucked.
Yep,
They deal with wifey.
Yep, and then I'm gonna watch the Islander game, and then after that, I am going to put on the last Coyote game ever, and then go from there.
That's a piece of shit. Anyways, I gotta go.
I'm gonna watch the Stars and Blues.
There you go. That'll be a good matchup. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us for the hour. We appreciate it as always. And next week, join us on Thursday for the draft.
Let's go, Islanders!
Fuck the Islanders.
Fuck, Bobby.
Take care of yourselves, each other. We'll see you next time.